I'm given a question. The figure over shows a pictorial view of a school bag. A thumb sketch of the front elevation is shown below. So this will give you an idea of what the front elevation should look like. So the questions are: A. Draw the front elevation looking in the direction of arrow A, over here, looking in this direction. Draw an end elevation looking in the direction of arrow B, here. So an end elevation looking in this direction. And draw a plan projected from A above. Okay. So first thing I do is start by drawing my XY line, my ground line. Now, the elevation is looking in the direction of arrow A. Arrow A is pointing towards the left-hand side, so I draw the elevation on the left-hand side. Because arrow B is pointing to the right, the end elevation or end view should be on the right-hand side of the elevation. So by drawing the elevation on the left, I leave room on the right-hand side of the page for the end elevation. So, the height of the elevation is 100 millimeters. So, I need to know this in order to know how far to come down from my XY line. So I'm going to come down from the bottom of the title box here, 120 millimeters to draw my XY line, and that'll leave 20 millimeters of space above the elevation. That's just good just for presentation. So I'll draw my XY line in there, like that. Okay, so now I'm going to draw out a rectangle which the elevation will fit into. So I can see the height of the elevation is 100 and the width of the elevation is 100. So I'm going to mark the width on first of all. On the XY line, I put my set square, mark the start, and it's 100 millimeters wide, and the height of the elevation is also 100 mil. So I mark out the outline of that lightly. Okay, so my elevation will fit into that outline. So I can start drawing on the detail of the elevation now. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing on this rectangle at the front. Now I can see that this rectangle, it's in line with this curve here. And that curve is in 15 millimeters from the edge. So if I measure in 15 mil from each edge, that'll give me the position of that, the front of the little compartment at the front. And I can see that's 35 millimeters high. So I'll draw a line up there, 35 mil. And the same over here. I'll bring that line across lightly and bring this up. Okay, so there's the front compartment drawn in. Now I'm going to draw the height, this line across here. So I can see the height of that is 50 millimeters above the ground. So I'm going to measure up 50 mil. Put a mark, draw that line across. There. This line comes up to it as well. Okay. So now you can see from this little view here what we've got drawn. I've got the front compartment and this bigger rectangle as well. So now I'm going to find this surface here, okay, which is the front of the curve. So I need to know how far I come in from there to there and from there to there. I know already because it's directly in line with this line here. And I need to know how far I come up. it'll be up to the top of the rectangle. So line it up with these lines. Okay. And for this line then, or this line here, I can see that it's in 10 from each edge. Okay. And to finish off the elevation then, I need to find this surface here. Okay, so you can see if we look directly at that, it'll look like a rectangle. There and there. We can see we're given the measurement for that. It's 50 up to there. That's a further 25 to this corner. Bring that down in line with the edge. Okay, so there's the elevation finished. So next I'm going to draw my plan in. So I've got to project all of the edges from the elevation down to plan. So all the vertical edges, project them straight down. And to start my plan, I'm going to leave a space between the plan and the XY line of roughly 20 millimeters. It doesn't need to be exact. Use just 20 mil as a guide. Okay, so it's along this line here where I'm going to start my plan. Okay, here. Okay, so I now need to get the distances from my plan. How far down is it going to come? So the plan is looking down directly from the top. So looking down directly on the top of this here. So I need to know how far out it will come. And that's given to me down here. So the total distance from back to front is 65 millimeters. Okay, so again, like the elevation, I'm going to come down 65 mil from the line at the back. So I'm just going to put that in yellow so it's easy to see. 65 millimeters then to the front. Okay, next thing I'm going to draw on is this little pouch here in the front. So I must check how deep that is or how wide that comes out. And it tells me here it's 15 millimeters deep. Okay, so from the front, I'm going to measure back 15 millimeters. There, I'll put a mark and draw a light line across. Okay, and the edges are between here, that line, and that line. So I'll fill those in heavy. Heavy across the front. And that line there all the way across. It's heavy as well. Okay, it's easy to finish off the plan now. This surface here is this surface. Okay, so I'm looking at this surface, which is this surface, and I see it goes from this edge all the way back to the back edge. Okay, so it'll start at this edge and go the whole way back to the back edge. And I can see that all that is in the same line at the back. So to finish the plan, there we go. Next, we can draw the end view. Now to draw the end view, you must use your 45-degree set square. Okay, so I'm going to use a blue marker. Okay, and we need to project the points from plan up to the XY line at 45 degrees. Okay, so every horizontal edge must be projected up at 45 degrees. Okay, this corner must be projected up as well, but we don't project directly from the corner. Okay, we bring all the projection lines out to the same line and project from there. Okay, I'm going to project those lines straight up as well. Now it's very easy to find my end view now from the information I'm given here. So I need to draw this pouch on in the front. I know it comes out as far as there, and I know it starts at this line, and if I bring over this height, that'll find it for me there. So I project that line straight over, and there's the top of the pouch. I can fill that in heavily. Okay, I'm going to use a black marker to outline that now so that we can see it. Okay, so the black lines, the heavy black lines are your heavy lines. Okay. Next is this line projected across. And this line here will project it across. And that'll give me the angle of the slope. So that slopes back there like that. Okay, I can fill in the rest of the bag now. For the top, again, just project it across. And that'll let you fill in the rest of the school bag. Okay. So I'll just fill in the rest of the lines heavily as well, so we can get a good outline of the finished drawing. There we are. Okay, two lines, I forgot these two short ones here.